10:10 Bible study. Jump into the Word with us.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to 10:10. So I hope you woke up this morning just ready to take on a whole new week, and whatever that looks like, pretty sure it's in your home. But regardless of where you are, I hope it's just been a great Monday. So on Friday, Kevin introduced the book that we're going through, which is the book of Galatians. And so today we'll be talking about chapter 2. And Paul is primarily just, same thing as in chapter 1, talking about the tension between the Jews and the Gentiles. And the Gentiles were just anyone who wasn't Jewish. And so the Gentiles, the Jews thought they were better than them because they had all these old traditions that the Gentiles didn't really follow. And so that was kind of emphasized when Peter comes to visit Paul in Antioch. And so Peter is one of Jesus's 12 disciples. And Paul actually has to call him out because when Peter comes to visit Paul, he is, eating with the Gentiles and socializing with them, doing everything he should be. But when some friends of his come, some friends that are Jewish, Peter stops doing all of that. He stops eating with the Gentiles and socializing with them because he's worried about what people might think of him, a Jew, socializing with these people who are not Jewish. And so Paul calls him out and says, hey, the way you're behaving isn't right because God came and sent Jesus to forgive everybody's sins. It's not about the old traditions, it's about the gift of Jesus Christ. And so we're going to jump into verse 20, which is the end of the chapter. But Paul, what he says here is so important. He says, my old self has been crucified with Christ. So who you were before you came to know Jesus, maybe the things that you did before you had a relationship with God, that person's gone. Doesn't exist. They are so far away. Allison, before she had a relationship with Christ, she's not here. She's gone. She's dead. And so we have so much freedom in the fact that we are new people in God's eyes. And so Paul emphasizes that. And he continues to say, it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And so I live this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. So Christ is in each and every one of us. And so that enables us to do so many things. It enables us to do the right thing even when it's hard. It enables us to be kind to others even when we don't really feel like being kind to people. And so God is calling us to stop living for ourselves. Stop living for that old person that is dead. Stop living for who you used to live for and start choosing to live like Christ because we have Christ inside of us. And so he died and he saved us from our sins. Paul wraps up the chapter in verse 21 saying, I do not treat the grace of God as meaningless, for if keeping the law could make us right with God, then there was no need for Christ to die. Now Paul isn't saying, oh, God forgives all sins, so you know what, it doesn't really matter what I do. I can hit my brother or my sister. I don't really have to listen to my parents. I can do what I want. Paul's not saying that. He's not saying we can do whatever we want because Jesus died to forgive us. But Paul is saying that we need the grace of God. So we needed Jesus to die on the cross, and we talked about that this past Easter. We needed that so we could be forgiven, so we could have a relationship with the creator of the universe. Why? Because at some point we're going to mess up. At some point, you're going to do the wrong thing. You're going to disobey. You're going to have an angry thought. You're going to get, mad. At some point, you're not going to be perfect. And that's okay. Because that's why God sent Jesus, because through God we can receive grace because Jesus died on the cross. And so if we were perfect, we wouldn't have needed saving. We wouldn't have needed God to send Jesus, but he loved us so much that he made a way for us to be saved. And so he loves you. We love you. If there's anything we can do for you, let us know, because we know everybody's kind of going through a hard time right now. We are so happy that you joined us today, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a great Monday.
1010 Bible Study. Jump into the Word with us.